Hey everyone, this is Bill Hernandez, editor at HardRockReviews.com here in Dallas, Texas. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Chris Marion, keyboardist and vocalist for the band Little River Band. With classics like Cool Change and Reminiscing, Little River Band continues to define harmony-driven rock. Now ahead of their June 26th performance here at the Arlington Music Hall, keyboardist and vocalist Chris Marion joins us to talk legacy, live shows, and what keeps the music timeless. Chris, thanks again for taking time out of your busy schedule with us today.
My pleasure, Bill. Hello to Bill and hello to Dallas. We're looking forward to being there at the Arlington Music Hall and coming back into my home state. I was born in Belton, Texas, so it's a lot of family that live in North Texas up there, so it's always good to get back there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the heat is starting to hit here. So whatever you got to keep you cool, you better bring it along.
Well, man, I live in Las Vegas.
Oh,
so,
enough said.
Yeah, I'm used to the heat, and I can, kind of handle myself in that, so no worries, man.
So I see this Friday you guys have a gig on the 20th in Vernon, New York. Is this the start of a tour, or are you guys in the middle of one?
No, we're kind of in the middle. I mean, this is our 50th anniversary tour, so, and the way we tour, basically we're weekend warriors. We tour year round. I mean, everybody lives in the United States. Obviously the band started out in Australia, and back in those days, it was quite a logistical issue to get the guys over here and get them, out on tour. So they would come and tour 6-7 months and then go back to Australia in their summertime there, which is our winter. Mm-hmm. But now that everybody lives in the United States, it's very easy to tour. We do weekend stuff. We'll do some three show runs. This past weekend we were in Washington for a couple of shows and Oregon for a show, and like this coming weekend we're going to be up in the New England area. Mm-hmm. And then that next week we're in in Texas and Oklahoma. So we just bounce around the country, man.
So when you're like a day like today, when you're not on tour or you have a few days, what is it that you like to do outside of music that gives you a lot of happiness?
Well, look, it's kind of like I travel, so much. I mean, because me living in Vegas and most of the band being based in Nashville, it usually takes me a day to catch up with the guys and then a day to get back home after our run. So on a 3-day run, I very well could be, only home for a couple of days, washing the clothes and throwing them back in the suitcase and getting ready for the next run. But my wife and I do some duo work around Vegas. She's a great singer. She was in Starship with Mickey Thomas for 15 years. So she and I have a little duo that we tongue-in-cheek call ourselves the B-listers. And then we work, we do stuff around town, and Vegas we live kind of in Henderson, right outside of Vegas. Uh-huh. So it's a great city for golf and for entertainment, great food, and I don't really have a lot of time for hobbies.
Yeah.
It seems like traveling is just the very thing that I do most of, and ironically, today I flew to Nashville on Sunday with the guys and did a couple of recording sessions Monday, and then this morning, and then I'm driving up to Virginia to see my stepmother for a couple of days here, and then back to Nashville on Thursday to fly to Cleveland. So.
Yeah, life of a rock star.
Yeah, a working blue collar rock star. You drive yourself.
and you just mentioned you do laundry as well.
Yes, I do. That's happy wife, happy life. So the last thing that she wants me to do is to just come home and dump 2 suitcases worth of laundry and say, "Hey, could you wash this for me?"
Right. Now,
she's got her own agenda.
Now you've been in Little River Band for a while now. Over the years, how has your musical style changed since you joined Little River Band, and how do you think that evolution reflects in the band sound?
That's a great question. Obviously, when you've got Wayne, our lead singer, and really kind of the last man standing with connection to those original hits. He sang 2 of the big 6 songs. So obviously over all those years, the songs and the arrangements kind of morph. We just did a new record last year, and so we do a couple of songs from the new record. And everybody who comes into the band brings their collective skill set and their sensibilities musically. And the great thing about a band is that it is really kind of a composite of all those skill sets and sensibilities. So you have to. I mean, you have a strong obligation to honor the original songs and the original arrangements. Obviously, you can't change things up too much, but I think this show's a little edgier than it has been. It's kind of got a little edgier. My background was kind of jazz and pop. So I brought some of that kind of voicing into the piano stuff that I play, and of course, in a vocal band like ours, everybody has to sing. So that's really the thing that is the continuity thread is, we're really committed to keeping those vocals up front and precise, and allow the arrangements to kind of be organic, and reflect, maybe a little edgier, a little more contemporary sound per se, but they still sound like the hits that the folks come to hear. That's why they come, so they deserve to hear, reminiscing, with those amazing vocals and strings and amazing harmonies on 5-part harmony on the chorus. So it still sounds like it used to sound.
Yeah, which is interesting because Little River Band's seen so many changes in its lineup, over the years. And when you guys are looking for band members, I'd hate to be at that audition because I'm sure you guys, really nitpick at everything because, of course, you want to retain that original sound for the fans.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's always been a priority. When I joined in 2004, I was one of, at that point they'd kind of become more of an America-based, United States-based band, so man, it was like I got a call. This is an interesting story. I mean, I had was not really looking to be in a band, and I'd been out, doing some one-offs with some guys, and me and a guy were driving, and we were listening to some CDs, and the Little River Band Greatest Hits happened to be in that collection of CDs that we had listened to over the weekend. So Monday morning, I get a call, and this guy says, "Hey, this is Wayne Nelson with Little River Band." And I thought it was my buddy calling to, punk me. And I said, "No, it's not. F off." And I hung up on him.
Oh, Lord.
So he calls back, kind of laughing, and says, don't hang up, man. We have a mutual friend, and he had suggested that you're a guy to call, for keys and for harmony vocals. And fortunately, he called me back, chuckling. But but that's the thing. I mean, Wayne has had a real vision for the personnel. Guys that are good players. Nashville has a lot of great talent to choose from. And, and plus, but you also have to get personnel that will really invest in the band.
Yeah.
He's really great at kind of incentivizing, making you feel like you have ownership in this legacy. And you really contribute to keeping that legacy vital and prolific as well, with new music, but honoring the old stuff too.
Yes. Now, it must be so interesting when you're playing on stage and you look out into the crowd at your shows. I mean, you have multiple generations at your shows now.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have those, know, from back in the 70s, going into the 80s, then the 90s, because the band is so prolific with putting out albums. So you guys are always playing somewhere. You're on the radio somewhere. And I think it's catching newer ears all the time.
Absolutely, man. I mean, that's the great thing about classic rock is that it is timeless. It really, that era of music is still really viable and still well appreciated. And it's cool to see multi generations. Parents bringing their kids. We have grandparents bringing their grandkids.
Yeah.
Who will stand out there, in the audience and sing, word for word. Sometimes reminding us when we forget the words, they're actually singing the words. It's really phenomenal to see these young people out there enjoying this great music, it's a real testimony to the timeless, classic nature of this music. There's a bunch of bands, Air Supply's on their 50th anniversary, Doobies, last couple of years who are doing their 50th. So, that's a real testimony to the staying power of this music, and also it's a true testimony to the loyalty of our demographic. A lot of these folks have been seeing us year after year. They come out and buy a T-shirt, they buy our new record. It's just they've become so much more than fans. They've become friends and even family to a certain extent. And it's kind of a cool collective, that this relationship we have with our fans and friends that will come out and see the show and just kind of keep this ball rolling. 50 years.
I'm sure also at your shows you look out and you see a lot of people wearing like captain's hat, boating hats, because you guys are considered yacht rock as well.
Yeah, it's really cool. How that yacht rock aspect of some of our music has just really kind of extended, our popularity into a brand new demographic.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great stuff that's happening. It's vital. They bring out the yacht caps and sometimes even wear the mustaches. That's a funny series that those guys developed. I don't know if you've seen the documentary that the guy. There's a documentary out now that's called I can't remember the name of it, but Michael McDonald, a bunch of those guys, Christopher Cross, have all been interviewed in it, and it just kind of traces the creation of yacht rock, and really cool documentary that it's cool to be a part of that, and to be going to have yet one more outlet for our songs to thrive.
Yeah. So future projects, looking towards the future, are there any particular goals or project that you're excited about for Little River Band that maybe you can share with us?
Well, yeah, we're going to start working on a new record. We did one, we finished one like last year, and it's been selling really well, man. Last year we went through a real promotional campaign. We hired some millennial girls that got us on TikTok and really kind of retooled our social media. And the record at this point, I haven't seen it this past month, but it's streamed. All the songs together cumulatively streamed over 2 million times.
Wow, amazing!
It's amazing, just how people consume and listen to music these days. But so just to keep the band creative, we're going to start working on new material, writing stuff for ourselves. There's lots of great writer contacts that we have that submit music, and with the advent of home studios, we can, we'll track rhythm tracks together, maybe in Nashville, and then we just kind of take the audio files and add vocals and do overdubs at home and that kind of thing. So it really makes it possible to be creative, when we're apart and we're off the road. Hold on a second. What's going on here? I'm hearing a beep of some sort. Is that you or is that me?
I don't hear anything.
Okay, it might be an alarm going off. Let me look and make sure that I might have set an alarm. It is. Hold on one second.
Sure.
Pardon me for all you folks listening at home while I'm looking around trying to turn off my alarm in the car.
Your fans are very forgiving.
Thankfully, technology sometimes is not your friend.
Yeah.
But Anyway, I mean, like I said, we're starting to work on some new music. The show itself, to honor the 50th anniversary, there's one particular tour that the band toured with Glenn Fry, and they got together the last night of the tour around one microphone and sang, "Cool Change" into the Night Owls, and so in honor of that, and with the whole 50th anniversary, angle at it, where we do an a cappella section in the show now.
Oh.
Where just the five of us gather around one mic and sing some tunes, that we've done arrangements of. Every day at Soundcheck, we do kind of an a cappella verse or chorus of one or two of our songs, just so the front of house guy can kind of get a feel for where the vocals sit in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And
sure.
So we recorded one of those. We do some Heartache Tonight. We did a verse of Heartache Tonight, and somebody said, well, our millennial girl said, why don't you do a video of that, and we'll post that. It will be content, because content is what keeps people coming back to the social media platforms. Sure. Well, I mean, that thing was viewed like 400,000 times, and so maybe we're onto something here. So
yeah.
We do some stuff kind of like that now for, a little blurb in the show, and, so we're always trying to fine tune it and make it a unique experience each year when people come out. So it's not just the same old stuff. And try to keep it fresh, but still honoring what people come for.
I haven't seen you guys in the last 3 years, so I'm excited about the new things you're talking about for the shows. So again, we're talking with Chris Marion, keyboardist and vocalist for Little River Band, and they're going to be out on June 26th at Arlington Music Hall here in Texas. Chris, thanks again for taking time out of your little time off to talk with us, and man, we're excited to see you guys real soon.
Absolutely, Bill. We're looking forward to coming back to the Arlington Music Hall. It's a great room to hear a show in, and so you folks down there, we can't wait to see you. Come out and celebrate this 50th anniversary with us.
And we'll do, and tickets are still available, and if you want to see what's going on with Little River Band, just go to littleriverband.com. Thanks so much, Chris. I appreciate it, buddy. We'll see you soon.
Thank you, Bill. Take care, man.
Okay, bye-bye.